Hey, gang. Welcome. The Bull Session Podcast is back. Episode 6.
Wow.
Can you believe we've done something 6 times?
And it didn't involve masturbation?
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Welcome. Buck Russell here, sitting next to Marcus Cross. How you doing, my friend?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Hey, I'm not too bad today. It's been a good day so far.
Has it been?
Yeah. I did some things today that I liked. So.
Did any of them? What did that involve?
No, I went to a coin show today, and my wife was like bored out of her mind, and I was like, "Oh, this is cool." And
she was like, "Wow, this."
Yeah. Then we went to the Wildlife Safari Park.
She was,
and that was fun. So, she was regretting that.
You.
I have to pay her back with something. So
she was regretting marrying you.
No, she wasn't doing that. She was just regretting going to this show with me. So
you guys did that this afternoon.
Yeah, we did that this morning.
I went to the Cracker Barrel today.
Really?
And we looked around and got some Halloween stuff.
Did you know that? The new iPhone, the iPhone X,
Cracker Barrel has one?
No, they will cost $900. Do you know that?
No, I did not know that.
Did you know the entire menu of Cracker Barrel cost $887?
Holy shit.
Where are your priorities? It's like a Facebook meme. It's like the big thing now because people want to spend $1,000 on iPhones, but yet they can't cough up any money to
buy a meal.
Yeah, buy a meal or help someone in need.
Well, that's kind of who we are today. Hey. Hashtag MAGA.
Hashtag
MAGA.
Yeah. We'll talk some good stuff.
Make America great again.
Make America great again, my ass. We've got some stuff here. We're going to talk about Puerto Rico. We're going to talk about North Korea. We're going to talk about...
Hashtag MAGA.
Would you stop that?
Tom Price.
Tom Price. Now,
what an appropriate last name for him.
Yeah.
How ironic.
And then the special election for Jeff Sessions' seat in Alabama.
Yeah,
so it's going to be an interesting.
Probably we need to talk a little bit about the. I'd also like to talk a little bit about the NFL.
Absolutely,
protests that are going on too. That's kind of we got into it a little bit last week, but it's kind of escalated.
Extended version. This is a 90-minute program, so we've got a lot to fill and a lot of things. So, what should we go first? Should we go?
Well, let's start with the NFL.
Sounds good to me. Start the NFL.
That kind of ended.
Yeah, we ended last time with that.
So let's begin with kind of continue on that.
And
it's escalated pretty big.
As you know, the NFL last week after the orangutan had decided to open his mouth and say that people that protest at NFL games that should be fired, kneeling for the national anthem. It is literally what he did polarized the NFL.
Yeah.
He polarized the owners, who you have to think is one of the richest owners for the Tennessee Titans. His name is Shamir Khan, I believe. I don't know if that's his first name. His last name is Khan. He is a Muslim American.
Yeah, I know.
He came here. He purchased the Titans.
He looks like Saddam Hussein.
No, he looks more like.
Yes, he does. Have you seen him?
He looks more like.
I'm not trying to be. I'm just saying he looks. That's who he looks.
I think he looks like Johnny Depp in Mordecai. Is what he looks like to me.
Yeah, a little, but it's the mustache.
Yeah, the mustache. But he sat there, and they
took a Trump supporter,
and he was a Trump supporter, and a lot of the NFL guys.
So was the owner of the Patriots. Yeah,
and I believe the owner of the Steelers too.
I'm not sure.
Rooney.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Art Rooney II, I guess.
I just know.
Not Rooney.
Yeah, I just know. Actually, I encourage people to actually look up it's on CNN, an interview with Bob Costas. Mm-hmm. And it's about 15 minutes long, so you kind of have to sit through it. But he explains in detail whether you're for the protest, whatever. He could not have summed it up better in what Bob Costas said. He just explained, this is why they're doing this. Mm-hmm. This is not something that's against the flag. He said, he goes, also, troops aren't the only people who are patriots.
Exactly.
He's like, social workers can be patriots. Doctors can be patriots. Agreed. A teacher can be a patriot. Anybody can be patriotic. It doesn't mean just because you have to be a soldier to be patriotic.
And
he's like, they're not. Sorry, he's like, they're not going against the soldier. And then they asked him some good questions. The people that were interviewing him on CNN asked him some good questions, and he came back and said, well, this is why I think this. And it was just, he really, really nailed it. Like, I was just like, oh my God, you need to speak to the president.
I will post these to our Facebook.
He nailed it. Yeah.
I will find it and I put it on our Facebook page.
It's pretty recent. I think it had just happened this week.
I will put it on our Facebook page. That there's also a sportscaster somewhere. I think he was in Minnesota. I don't remember his name. I'm sorry, my notes did not make it to where we're at right now. Who had a big kind of like last take of the protest, and he threw up a bunch of great things. And then someone posted something from a gentleman who had a same view of it, but a little bit different. He's like, he had like I said before, I don't mind people exercising their free speech. It is their right in this country. But people need to realize when you do exercise your right of First Amendment speech is that you have to accept the consequences. For example, what we're doing here is our amount of free speech.
Right.
If people don't like it and they start yelling at us, we have to accept the consequences of what we say. Not everybody's going to agree with us, and we know this.
Well, exactly.
But we will make sure that
not everybody's going to agree with the people doing the protest.
Right, exactly.
So that's why there's people firing back at it, obviously.
And there are people now sending death threats to players and owners in the NFL.
That's
okay.
They
are saying people
it.
saying and Trump said boycott the NFL.
Yeah.
There was a survey done and it was shown on ESPN this week. People who are less interested in the NFL now in this group was like 35%.
Okay.
People that are more interested in the NFL, I think, was extremely lower. It was like 10 to 15%.
Okay.
So people, there are people that are, oh my God, football, great. We shouldn't involve politics with sports, but you got to think is the one thing that polarizes everyone in this country is sports.
Yeah.
You are always going to have someone that's, especially like tomorrow night, my Kansas City Chiefs, my 3-0 Kansas City Chiefs are going to play the Washington Redskins. There are a lot of people think that the Redskins is a foul name.
Yeah.
Is it? It seems like a derogatory term, but
right.
How it's used is how it's used? I don't know. Excuse me. But then you get back to this is like people that are sitting there saying, no, we should not be protesting. We should not listen to the protesters. People who are taking a knee.
Right.
Those people are disrespecting the flag. Well, if anyone is listening to this, have you ever seen? Has anyone ever seen U.S. flag code?
Right. It's actually
US
there's a lot of things that we're not supposed to be doing that we're disrespecting.
At a football game, you will see a flag that is laying. What is that? Vertically or horizontally?
It's horizontally, I think.
A flag should not be laying horizontally. It should not be on garments. And there is literally everything on there. And if you get the chance, listen to, go on YouTube and look at Trey Crowder, or they have the Well Read podcast, which is a weekly or daily thing that actually runs about an hour and a half. They will sit there and talk about stuff like that. And he was sitting there showing a pair of American flag swim shorts.
Yeah.
There's girls that wear the American flag bikini.
Oh yeah.
It's people that.
But
have,
what's funny about
shirts like that?
What's funny about that is they're all going, "Hey, I'm patriotic. I'm showing my colors, and I'm so proud to be in the U.S. and I love the U.S." But they're actually disrespecting the flag, but they don't know it because they didn't bother to do the time to get any kind of research on what it is. They just went with what is on Breitbart News or Infowars or.
Or Fox
I'm
News.
I'm not saying all those people only watch that. I'm just saying they were just following a crowd, and they were going, I'm gonna wear a giant American flag T-shirt on 9/11, this year because I'm patriotic and I'm proud of the U.S. and I'm proud of But it's like, why are you proud to be in the U.S.? Well, I'm happy to be American. Why? Tell me why. Yeah. That's great that you are, but tell me why. Yeah. And do you know the flag code? Well, no, but I'm wearing a flag shirt, so I'm patriotic. How are you patriotic? Have you served in the military? Are you, you know what I mean? I mean, what have you done that makes you patriotic? All of us can say all of us can agree that we're all happy to be in the U.S. and that we all have these rights. All of us can say that. So doesn't that make us all patriotic? Where does the definition of patriotic come from? That's I'm curious, when people say that or do that.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. The definition of patriotic is considered by dictionary.com says that having or expressing devotion and vigorous support for one's country. For having support, I support the United States,
and
you
all
I
of us support
that means
the
we're patriotic,
military.
right?
Who
Yeah.
can you honestly tell me somebody that you know that no, I fucking hate the military. I hate the troops. Who in the fucking
Honestly,
country,
I could probably there's like maybe
who in the
one or
fucking
two people
country
that
say that they actually hate the U.S. troops, the troops.
The troops. I wouldn't say the troops themselves. I would say more the idea behind it.
Well, I could see that.
And
but
you'll see people that'll be like,
I can't
I don't,
say,
they shouldn't go over there. Well, you know what? They're following orders.
but that's not hating the troops.
No.
That's hating them going and getting killed.
Yeah.
To fight a fucking war that we don't feel that we need to be in. That to me is not hating the troops. I'm talking about someone going, no, I fucking hate our men and women in uniform.
Honestly, I don't know
honest
anyone.
to God, who would say that and who would honest to God feel that way?
I don't.
I can see people going, well, I don't agree with us going over there and fighting. Yes, everybody, a lot of people have that. Probably more people have that belief than don't. Yeah. There's more people in this country that are against war than there are people
I think more people nowadays would seem that they would go against, like you said, go against war because when the whole thing, the Iraq war happened, Afghanistan, all this, there were people out there who was like, we need to get out. Okay, that's great. We need to get out. But here is my thing. Whether you supported the war or whether you don't support the war, either way, you need to support the troops because
of course.
They're doing a job. They are ordered to do that. They don't get the choice to go over and do what they're doing.
They joined the military. They wanted to fight for whatever choice they wanted to. Some joined, well, it's going to help. It's going to pay for my schooling. I want to do this, or it's in my family. It's in my family. Yeah, actually, in the movie Jack Reacher, the first one, his character says it the best. There's 4 reasons people join, and a lot of that is all of what we just said. And it was it's family. They've always done it. I'm a diehard American. I'm just gonna. It's just extreme patriotism. I'm just going to go do it, And then it's schooling, and then it's the people that want to be able to kill someone legally without having to, because I want to go fire a gun. I want to fight, I want to fucking be in it. I want to know what that's like,
And we have, one of the best militaries in the world.
Well, we do.
We have the most expensive
that's because we
defense
pour more money into it.
We put more money in there than anything else, and we're not taking, saying that
Trump puts
the service
money into hair dye.
Oh yeah. See, we're just going right back to Agent Orange.
I know.
So it just makes you think that there are those idiots out there that don't want, that are like, well, I'm gonna, be this guy, and then you have the people who have constantly said, recently especially, is that we need to respect the Confederate flag because it's a part of our history.
Right.
No, we don't. The Confederate flag was a sign and symbol of defiance against the Union.
Well, also they lost, so you're supporting.
So you're supporting a losing side.
Yeah,
exactly.
America won. The U.S. won. I mean, if you're going to say yes, it was in the U.S. It was a civil war. Yes, I get that, but
the Union side won.
Yes,
the Stars and Stripes won over the Southern Cross.
Right.
So why do we need to? We are the only country that I know of.
Do you want us to start, throwing up like when we beat? Look at all the other wars. Do you want us to start flying the fucking the Korea flag and stuff like that when we fought in the Korean War?
Well, that was never really. We're technically just an armistice between North
that's
and
my
South
point.
Korea.
We've had wars with everybody. This
Vietnam
happened to be a
is
civil
one.
one. So what's the difference between their Confederate flag? They were the enemy against, people say, well, no, they weren't the enemy. It was a civil war.
In that respect, there are people that still support the Nazi flag, and we kicked them. We kicked the shit out of them.
So no, I agree with you. It should not be there. And they fly more of those at those fucking NASCAR rallies and shit and at games and at football games and stuff than they fly fucking America.
Well, here's the one thing too is when you think about
who's just respecting the American flag now.
If you have the Confederate flag, say on the Dukes of Hazzard car in the General Lee, is that considered disrespect or a sign of the times? See,
Right.
you think about that is like, because Dukes of Hazzard, think about it. We're in our 40s.
Right.
Dukes of Hazzard was a kick-ass show. I love Dukes of Hazzard. I
liked it when I was like 8. Yeah.
I wanted to be Luke Duke. I really did. I wasn't as good looking as Bo. I was smart. I was dark haired. I looked like Luke. So I wanted to be Luke Duke.
I wanted to be John Schneider.
You wanted to be Bo. You definitely. I could see you being.
I want to be Bo now when he's in the shitty sci-fi movies. That's what I want to be.
I think he still owns. No, but he's a batshit crazy Christian dude again. And
who is?
John Schneider.
Is he?
I think so. Well, how Tom Wopat's I think going to jail because he did something.
He did?
He did like some fraud or touched a little girl or something. I don't know.
Or a little boy.
I don't know, but if you look
I
at
saw him in
Catherine Bach looks like terrible because she's had so much plastic surgery.
Yeah,
she
does
bad.
look bad. The last thing I saw
Sorrel
Tom
Book
Wopat
is
in
gone.
was he was in Django Unchained as a small role.
Yeah.
Tom Wopat was.
Sorrel Book is gone. Boss Hogg.
Yeah,
James
he
Best
died a
is
long
gone.
time
He
ago.
died not
Actually,
too long
James
ago.
Best didn't die that long ago.
No, he's not been dead very long.
And he was, 90?
Yeah.
He had to have been in his 90s.
What's his name? Denver Pyle.
Well, he's
Uncle
probably
Jesse.
He's probably been dead for
He's
a long
been gone
time.
a while. I don't know if the guy that played Enos is gone. Enos or the other guy. Enos and Sheenus or whatever.
The Slinky McSlink.
Slinky McSlink. I can't remember. But
I don't know it that well. I mean, I don't know it that well. So I can't tell you.
Cooter's still alive. The guy that played Cooter.
Is he?
Ben something was his name.
Ben Stein?
Yeah, no, not Ben Stein. Yeah,
Eat
he
Ben
owns like
Stein's
a
ass.
restaurant or something.
Remember that show that Ben Stein was on? Eat Ben Stein's ass?
That was your version of it, my friend.
Okay.
Speaking of
porno I
that,
watched.
there is one. You guys have probably already read it. This was sad news to me. Is that one of my game show idols passed away? Monty Hall passed away last night at the age of 96.
Oh my God!
The original host
96.
and creator of Let's Make a Deal. He passed away
Wow.
due to natural causes in his sleep last night at 96.
Chuck, who did Confessions of a Dangerous Mind.
Chuck Barris didn't die too long ago.
Not
That was
very, it was
huge,
just this year.
Yeah, it was this year.
And he was probably in his late 80s. He had to have
Yeah,
been.
that hurt. I think that one hurt. And Monty Hall hurt. When Bob Barker passes, Bob Barker's 94.
Is he really?
Yeah, he's 94, 96.
Oh my God.
I mean, literally, but he's still in, honestly,
Pretty
everything
good shape.
everything that I've read, he's still in good shape. He don't look all that great, but I've heard he's still,
physically, he's never been fat or nothing.
No.
He's always been super
No,
trim.
he turned vegan like in the
Did he
70s
really?
or 80s.
Yeah, he does not
know?
look. He looks healthy. I mean, for a person that's in their 90s, he
Yeah.
looks pretty fucking
He's in his
healthy.
90s.
That's pretty crazy.
And then, Chuck Woolery's still around, I think.
Unfortunately.
He's freaking batshit crazy, along with, like, Scott Baio. Those two are,
they
like,
can
should be in.
fucking go fuck each other.
Then you have Pat Sajak.
What about Antonio Sabato Jr.?
We're just, like, bouncing around now.
He was at the RNC, and he had a great speech. Did you see it?
No, because I didn't watch it.
A year and a half ago, and it was, my God.
No,
what
I
a
listened
genius.
to-
I don't know why Hollywood hasn't hired him for any gigs in the last 20 years. Fuck. Because, God, he's such a great actor. Him along with Scott Baio Money.
Bail money, get it? Yeah.
Yeah, well, that was a bad joke.
We're at the 20-minute mark. We're going to take a break to get to our next topic. We'll talk Puerto Rico next. The Bull Session Podcast coming back here in just, for us, 10 minutes. For you, 2 seconds. Be back. Back again, segment number 2. We are going to talk about Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico. Actually, any of the Caribbean countries right now. If you guys want to help them in any way, please get in touch with I believe the U.S., the Red Cross is helping. It is really bad. And we'll discuss what ways that we think that it would get better. But this is off NPR, and this comes from, it looks like a kind of an opinion piece, and it talks about, this right here sums up what it really needs. One thing needs to be done. 8-year-old Puerto Rican to Trump, stop tweeting and come help people. I mean, literally, come on. The young lady this is Mendelit Del Barco is her name, and she says 8-year-old Jan Anthony Hernandez has deep pimples on the side of his smile. However, he's managed to sleep through the hurricane that roared over his home in Isabela, Puerto Rico. Unlike those living in wooden houses, his cement home held up. But now there's no electricity or cell phone service. His school is closed. Instead of spending his free time on his PlayStation or watching YouTube videos, as he usually does, he's bored. His older sister, Lorraine, I'm hoping I'm saying this, Goyta, Goytya, a 20-year-old college student studying biology, says she misses being able to post photos to Instagram, send Snapchats, or text her friends. But she says entertaining themselves is the least of their worries. Yeah. She says it's difficult not having a way to communicate with anyone beyond shouting distance. It took her 9 days to find a rotary phone to call her father in Massachusetts. Quote, my dad told me the images they were showing in the news out there, they were shocking, devastating. You don't think anyone is alive. She says, apparently her older brother, who was in the Army and based in Texas, had posted a photo of her saying she was missing. When she finally got to speak to her father, he was crying. Goyta says she worries about him, hopes to fly off the island to visit him as soon as she can. Literally, stop sending tweets, he says, and come help the people. I took a good section of this out, but they're correct. I mean, what is the administration doing to help the people of Puerto Rico? One thing that is stopping them is the Jones Act.
Right.
It is a terrible thing. It was basically when they took over Puerto Rico from the Spanish-American War, I think it was. They literally wanted U.S. shipping. Anything that comes to the island, it can come from anywhere, but it has to be brought in under a ship holding an American flag.
Right.
So they suspended it for 7 days. Really, for 7 days to get relief to this country? Not long ago, there was like a 94% vote for statehood in Puerto Rico, but it means nothing because they have a non-voting governor or non-voting person that sits in the House of Representatives. Right. They have no voice. They can sit there and be part of the process, which they're not. Yeah. You got to think is for a while, the D.C. did the same thing. They had a non-voting person in Congress. Well, now they can vote in Congress. They have I think one single vote, electoral vote, I believe. That now you have this country that is practically 60% destroyed, or 60%.
Is it that much?
It's considerable. But you think there are things that we take for granted right now. It's like I can't stand how much people get on the internet how many times I see people sitting like in the line to the bathroom and they're taking a selfie with their friend, posting on Instagram.
Look at the turd.
Or typing in, look at the turd on Facebook. These people, the things that we take for granted that we are like, my God, why are people doing this? They're not able to. They're not able to call and tell their parents who could be living out of the country that, hey, I'm alive. Not just, hey, how you doing? I'm alive. Yeah. There are people that are gouging these people with water. $4.50 for a bottle of water. Well, you know what? They do that here too, but people want to buy that $4.50 a bottle of water. They don't have that at people. Drink. They need it to drink. They need it to survive. They're running out of supplies. They're running out of gasoline. They're running out of food. And the Trump is the president is sitting there tweeting. You're not helping.
What is his What does his most recent tweets have been?
I have not read
during this going on. Are they talking about just him BSing about the whole fucking NFL bullshit or what?
Probably. It amazes me that these people are Americans. If you go to Puerto Rico, they are Americans. They're not anything else than Americans. Why can't they help? Why can't anyone help? There used to be quite the dairy industry, apparently, in Puerto Rico. Okay. Gone now because of Hurricane Maria. They got nailed with Hurricane Maria, Hurricane Jose. They missed the K. Whatever the K was went back in the
Katrina?
Not Katrina. No, it wasn't Katrina this year.
You mean this year?
Yeah, this year. Yeah.
Oh, I see. I don't know which one it was.
They're literally...
I thought you were going back from the hurricanes.
Their infrastructure is crumbling. They have no food, no water. Why can't the administration help? Why are they want to sit there and do the rhetoric with every other country, but yet they're going to keep this act in place? Yeah. To not help this country that actually loves being American. I don't know what you think about that.
No, I agree with you. I mean, I don't know enough about this act than just what you told me. So, I mean, I didn't know what it involved and what it prevents us from doing to help them out.
I'm bringing it right now. It's actually also called the Marine Merchant Act of 1920. It's a federal statute that provides for the promotion and maintenance of American merchant marines. Law regulates maritime commerce in U.S. waters between U.S. ports. Requires that all goods transported by water between U.S. ports to be carried on U.S. flagged ships constructed in the United States. So, honestly, it seems that the intention is for Congress to ensure a vibrant maritime industry, but it's hurting people in places like this. The Jones Act prevents foreign flag ships from carrying cargo between the U.S. mainland and certain non-contiguous parts of the U.S., such as Puerto Rico, Hawaii, Alaska, and Guam. Those are the big four that I remember reading about. Foreign ships inbound with goods cannot stop at any of these four locations, offload goods, load mainland-bound goods, and continue to U.S. mainland ports. Although ships can offload cargo and proceed to the U.S. mainland without picking up any additional cargo intended delivery for another U.S. place, usually they proceed directly to U.S. main ports where distributors break bulk and then send goods to U.S. places off by U.S. flagged ships.
Why? I mean, what is the point of that?
That is basically, I believe they were trying to keep U.S. interests in. They want the U.S. to be like, hey, you know what? You're saving us. The U.S. is saving you, not Spain, not Russia. They're basically trying, and this was in 1920 when this was set up.
Yeah,
and there are people in the U.S. Virgin Islands is exempt from the act,
right?
Which would really help because St. Thomas. I know is hurt really bad.
Yeah.
My wife actually has a friend that lives in St. Thomas that is literally they're hurting. They're trying to get off the island and they're having a considerable amount of difficulty getting off the island of St. Thomas.
Nicole's friend, I don't know if you ever met him, Amy and Sid.
No, unfortunately.
She's half Hispanic and she has family that's down in Puerto Rico, like her grandparents or something like that. And Jeremy and them were talking about sending money to them.
Yes,
I mean, she's not immediate family down there, but she was born there, I believe.
This year it was suspended twice, suspended in the aftermath of Hurricane Harvey and Irma. The same month it was waived for Puerto Rico in the aftermath of Hurricane Maria. And I know one person that is really trying to revoke this act is John McCain.
Yeah.
He has said, and I quote, there's a quote here, if you give me just a sec to find it in
From John McCain?
From John McCain.
John McCain has really been...
Senator John McCain called it, quote, an antiquated law that has for too long hindered free trade, made U.S. industry less competitive, and raised prices for American consumers. Nevertheless, Congress has consistently supported the Jones Act, and in fact, Barack Obama supported the Jones Act during his last term.
Okay.
So this is something that a lot of people are... considerably, even now the administration is saying, no, we need to keep American interests there.
Yeah.
But you got to think, this hurts mostly Alaska, Hawaii, parts of Guam, and Puerto Rico. Where if you look at Alaska, a Happy Meal is $10.
Right.
That $5 footlong is not $5 in Hawaii. It's probably $10. In Puerto Rico, you get people that are paying $4.50 for a bottle of water.
Right.
Probably $6 for a pound of hamburger.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. And it's just, there needs to be something, I believe, that can help somehow.
Yeah, that's absolutely ridiculous.
Especially in this right now where they need it the most. I think the waiver they gave was a week. It should have been a month. It should have been more than 7 days.
Right.
And it wasn't. And I don't know how you can consider working, doing that.
That doesn't make any sense.
It makes no sense at all, I think. So, and it has other things about the rights and stuff.
Now,
we're not trying to take away
Trump
from
go down there? Or has he been down there yet?
I don't believe he has. But during the next break, we'll have to take a look because I didn't.
Yeah, because I'm not sure if he's been down there.
I don't believe he's left D.C.
Oh,
except The only thing that I know that he's done is gone to Trump Tower, New York once, and then I think he's been at Mar-a-Lago.
Mar-a-Lago, he's always there.
He's always there.
But I know he went down to Harvey, and he went down to Florida, and passed out one bottle of water to that one guy in the one truck, and he was supposed to put it in the fucking back of the truck, but he gave it to him. I'm not going to get into that, but I was curious if he had gone.
He went to Houston for Harvey,
to Puerto Rico,
and then he went. Then apparently, you're saying he went to Fort Myers.
For
Fort Myers, Naples area.
Yep.
That
was when they made the big deal about what's her face wearing her stupid fucking heels or whatever. She was like wearing high heels in her, and it was like stilettos, and it was like fucking mud and shit everywhere. And then he started saying, "Oh yeah, well look at this big turnout." No, dude, they just want clean water to drink. Yeah. They didn't show up for you. Yeah. They showed up because they needed to fucking drink water so they could live. Yeah. We didn't show up to this wasn't a rally. You're not campaigning anymore. Yeah. Okay.
You're the president.
Remember that happened a year ago? You were campaigning? That's been done for almost a fucking year. And stop bringing up fucking Hillary Clinton. Why are you still bringing up Hillary Clinton a year after the fucking election? Yeah. So no, you went down there to think it was a rally. It wasn't a rally. There was people suffering, needing to have food and clean water, and that's why they were there, not because they came to see you. It's not about you.
Well, apparently there's something else that is about Mr. Trump.
But I was just curious if he had been in Puerto Rico.
I do not believe so. If you're more than welcome to email us at bullsession@kmsimedia.com.
I mean, I would like to know. I mean, if he has, I would. We would say that he had. I don't want us to not. I just don't know what he's done for them yet.
I don't know.
Obviously, not a lot if they're bitching about him, tweeting and not fucking helping him.
Everybody's been bitching I know him everybody's about tweeting because it's all he does.
Well, I know even his diehard supporters are not happy with him.
Well,
tweeting.
Before you got to think is they're not. There was a saying that you have diarrhea of the mouth. He has diarrhea of the iPhone.
Yeah.
Because honestly, no one cares. You can sit there and tweet all you want, but you have to think about this for just a minute. It goes back to what I was saying earlier. When people are taking the selfie in the line in the bathroom, or they're taking a picture of their turd, or they're saying, "Oh my God, Taco Bell, what did I ever do to you?"
You're not going to name names on that one.
No, I'm not. But honestly,
that might be someone we know.
But honestly, you have to think is they had enough consciousness to get in front of their phone, type that in, and press send.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to take anything away from that because I've been getting. I'm going to tell you right now, my partner is the only person I know of in my life that does not have Facebook, and Brian I'm proud of him. Brian doesn't have it. Like one of his brothers.
Corey doesn't either.
They're not missing anything, really. You're not. You're missing stupidity.
I'm so tempted to get on it, but then I'm just like,
don't do it. I'm actually considering getting rid of it.
Then I hear stories from so many people. I'm like, fuck it now.
Yeah. The only reason I keep it now is to see what everybody else is complaining about, and then our Facebook page for our program. That's really all I'm doing it for now. But there have people because you'll have memories that come up, and it'll tell you like something you tweet or you messaged or did something. A year ago, 2 years ago, 10 years ago. And they're like being like, the other day it came up and he goes, "So excited, the season premiere of CSI New York starts in 75 minutes.
Right.
It's like, I really sat there and did that. And I look at myself now and I'm like, my God, I was a tool. What was I thinking when I was sitting there?
You were venting your excitement for the new season.
Yeah, and if you notice now, CSI New York isn't on anymore. It was canceled.
Well.
That
wasn't because you didn't watch it. See?
No,
there you go.
Yeah, but it's just
you contributed. You tried to help.
I tried helping the program. Exactly.
Apparently, didn't give a shit.
No, just like I'm trying to help Gotham and the Orville.
You don't have to help Gotham or Orville. I think their ratings are pretty fucking high.
The Orville's actually not doing well.
It's not.
No, the ratings are pretty low. The ratings are like the first one I think was 2.2, and then the next one was like 1.5, and then the last two episodes have been getting under one.
Oh, really? I thought it was doing well. Okay, it shows you how much I pay attention to late night TV.
So, what we're talking about is next is we're going to now that Trump's buddy Jeff Sessions is the Attorney General. Now
Roy
there
Moore.
There is a seat up for grabs in the state of Alabama.
Two people were trying to go for it.
Two people are going
Luther
for it.
Strange was the
Luther
one
Strange
that Trump backed.
that President Trump backed, and I say this once again from NPR, after the candidate who Trump backed in Tuesday's Alabama Senate primary, Luther Strange, lost to Roy, I'm batshit crazy and think I'm cool. Trump summarily deleted several tweets that he made in support of Strange.
Well, he was trying to get his diehard supporters that were for him to back this
right.
Luther
And
Strange.
I don't know anything about Luther Strange. Honestly, was he like somewhat?
He is your typical. Just he wasn't moderate or anything like that. But this other guy is basically
the guy that he lost
judge.
to. Roy Moore is a judge from the state of Alabama.
Right.
He has been a judge in the state of Alabama since I believe the early 2000s, or no, probably before then. Let's see. He was 1992 to 2000. He was in the 16th Circuit Court for the state of Alabama. Then he was a Chief Justice, or he was in office. Chief Justice
Warren Burger.
He was Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of Alabama.
Okay.
Now, here's one thing about Roy Moore that you need to know.
A goat? Or is that in there?
No, I don't know.
Okay. I'm pretty sure he did.
Unfortunately, and
Wikipedia didn't put that in there.
No, and once again, you're probably like, well, you're going against Wikipedia? Well, you know what? For the most part, it's 90% accurate.
Well, you're just going basic info.
This is basic information, and for them, they're
guy.
correct. So I'm going to read you his biography. All right? I don't want to do this because I'm going to throw up. But anyways... Roy Stewart Moore is an American lawyer, politician, and former judge.
Patriot.
He is the founder and president of the Foundation for Moral Law, which is a Christian version of Sharia law, apparently.
Okay.
Moore is the Republican nominee
what is the Christian moral law? What is that?
No, Sharia law.
I know what Sharia law is, but I mean, you said
Foundation for Moral Law.
Okay.
We'll find that out in just a moment.
Oh, lovely.
Vacated by Jeff Sessions, he was elected to position of Chief Justice. Moore was elected Chief Justice. He was Chief Justice from like 2001 to 2003, and then they made him resign. But then he was elected Chief Justice again in 2013, but was suspended 3 years later for directing probate judges to continue to enforce the state's ban on same-sex marriages since it would have been deemed unconstitutional by the Supreme Court. Following an unsuccessful appeal, he resigned in 2017 and announced he would run for Senate, vacated by Jeff Sessions. He won the runoff primary, which makes him the Republican candidate for the seat.
Right.
Then he will face nominee Doug Jones, who's the Democrat.
Doug Jones?
Yes, Doug Jones.
Doug Jones plays fucking Abraham fucking, whatchamacallit in Hellboy. That's that actor's name, Doug Jones.
Here, we'll look him up.
Abraham Sapien on Hellboy.
Sapien.
Yeah, Doug Jones.
Voiced by?
Huh?
Who's he voiced by?
He was voiced in the first movie by David Hyde Pierce, but now he is voiced by Doug Jones too.
He is considered. Roy Moore is considered.
That's really weird. How's he going to have time to run against this guy if he's doing Hellboy?
He is considered a star of the alt-right or a Bannonite. Moore's far-right views, they believe, helped him win a Republican nominee for Senate. Once again, it is in the state of Alabama.
I'd like to say something real quick.
Hang on, let me finish real quick. He has earned national attention and stirred controversy over his violently anti-gay, anti-Muslim, and right-wing views and his belief that religious values should order public policy. Moore is was a leading voice in the anti-Obama birther movement, which promoted and debunked conspiracy theory that President Barack Obama was not born in the U.S. His focus on religious values in his public policy has been called for criticism and has gained him the nickname of Ayatollah of Alabama by his critics. Now, if you're going with religious, apparently he doesn't know the separation of church and state.
He doesn't know.
Now, there is a difference because he is, like the Ten Commandments thing on state property. You know what? For that, remember where we're getting this from. Probably fake news. People are going to be like,
MAGA, fake news. Hashtag MAGA.
But for someone to have this strong of beliefs, this person who has literally stated, that religion and his views should be part of, doesn't this literally take the separation of church and state out of the picture?
Well, it does.
He sits there and says he's anti-Muslim, but in Muslim countries, and I'm not going to sit there, I'm not saying I'm anti-Muslim or anything, but in Iran, there is a very strong religious component to their government.
It's the same, yeah.
So now, basically, are you trying to put that same component in the U.S. government?
You're hating on the same thing. You're hating them for exactly what you're fucking doing. That's pretty much it, you know? And Bannon backed this guy. That's that's what I wanted to say earlier. Bannon backed this guy, but Trump was backing this Luther Strange. So Steve Bannon, who's out now, was backing this guy. So now they're saying that there's a separation of
there's definitely a separation.
Trump going with like the Senate Republicans who want him to back this Luther Strange when he did back him. And then, you know, the Bannon psycho fucking Nazi assholes, whatever, the diehard fucking probably the racist wing of the Trump supporters were for this asshole. So it's like, okay, we're going for him, you know. We're backing him. We're going by Bannon.
He's really,
and that's what it is. It's like, oh, since Bannon's been gone, now he's got his own wing of people, and Trump's kind of separated.
Now I remember this guy.
You know,
I remember there was something about him.
Trump's. It seems like there's a separation between the real, you know, extreme views of like the Steve Bannon type supporters of Trump, and then the people who just voted for Trump because they hated fucking Hillary so much, you know.
I recognize this Moore guy. In the early 2000s, he basically built a Ten Commandments monument on Alabama state property.
Okay.
And he said it was because he wanted people to support they wanted to bring back a moral code to the United States. I'll never forget this, and I'll read this. This is a quote from 2002, I believe it was.
They used
2001.
the Ten Commandments as a menu for this thing?
He unveiled the monument in 2001. Today, a cry has gone out across our land for the acknowledgement that God upon whom this nation and our laws were founded. May this day mark the restoration of the moral foundation of law to our people and return them to knowledge of God in our land. That was in 2001. In later, 3 months later, the ACLU said you need to take the monument down.
Right.
And this is not anything about, you know, we're going to get some people probably that'll be like, well, the Ten Commandments that's fine.
Right.
But you need to see it a certain way. The judge that next year, U.S. Federal District Judge Myron Thompson, issued a ruling saying the monument violated the Establishment Clause of the First Amendment and was unconstitutional. He says, and I quote in his decision, if all Chief Dustin Morris said to emphasize the Ten Commandments' historical and educational importance, or their importance for a model code for good citizenship, this court would have a different case before it. Okay. Before I go on, he's got a point. If you're going to put it somewhere to make sure to see if someone's going to do good, or to educate someone to do good, or the history behind it, I don't have a problem with that. But the Chief Justice did not limit him to this. He went far, far beyond. He installed a 2.5-ton monument in the most prominent place in a government building, managed with dollars from all state taxpayers with the specific purpose and effect of establishing a permanent recognition of the, quote, sovereignty of God, unquote, the Judeo-Christian God over all citizens of this country, regardless of each tax-paying citizen's individual personal beliefs or lack thereof. To this, the Establishment Clause says
believe in what I believe in is what he's doing.
It's exactly what he says, that he wants, believe in what I believe in or you're fucked.
Yeah, exactly.
You were saying, too, that he won the nomination.
Right.
And you said he had a Dillinger in his hand?
No, it didn't. I was making fun of that. He had a gun, and he goes, he pulled out his gun, and he goes, and I believe in the Second Amendment. And he said it like that, and he pulled out his gun, and it looked like a fucking Dillinger because it was like so tiny. It was this tiny little pistol. And I'm like, what the fuck are you going to shoot with that, an ant? I mean, it looked like a little cap gun, but it was his pistol.
He has been,
he didn't fire it or nothing.
He was removed from the Alabama courts of ethical violations, which include a violation of the Alabama canon of
I read this. He's got ethics,
a lot. Disregarding a federal injunction, disregarding a federal order.
Right.
Violation of the for demonstrating unwillingness to follow the law. Violation of ethics for abuse of administrative authority. for his substituting his judgment for the judgment of the entire Alabama Supreme Court, including failure to abstain from public comment about a pending proceeding in his own court, for interfering with the legal process and remedies of the U.S. District Court and Alabama Supreme Court related to the proceedings in which Alabama probate judges were involved. And finally, for failure to recuse himself from a pending proceedings in the Alabama Supreme Court for making public comment and placing him as impartially into question. This guy is a loony toony.
Yeah.
For people who support him, that's fine. You can support him. I'm telling you that I don't because I think he's Looney Tunes. If you're going to sit there and...
Fake news, hashtag MAGA.
You were really on that today, aren't you?
Just saying.
For those who sit there and say that, oh my God, we need to bring God back into schools. No, we don't need to bring God into schools. We need to bring education back in schools.
Yes, we do.
Let
people figure that journey out for themselves when it comes to God. Let people figure that out for themselves. If they want to follow a religion and do that, do it. Great. But know why you're doing it. You don't want to believe in God? That's your choice too. Yeah. Of course. It just discover it for yourself. Don't say, well, my parents brought me up as Catholic, so I'm just going to be Catholic. Well, what is your personal belief? What do you feel?
Have you felt the Spirit? Have you felt... then you get into...
Have you felt the Spirit? Yeah. I mean, I don't... Yeah. I'm just saying, you're right. It needs to be education. It doesn't need to be bringing... That's not the right way to do this. No. You can't make people believe in something that they're questioning, or you can't make people... I mean, it's not right to do that, That's what this guy's doing.
We have nothing on this program against religion. If you believe, that's fine. If you do, you don't. It doesn't matter.
No, I don't have any problem with that at all. I have my own beliefs, just like you have your own beliefs. I'm saying, discover why you believe that. You go do that. Don't just do it because, well, my mom and dad always told me to do this. Go learn on your own. Go research it on your own.
There's a point in time where honestly people should have that discovery, and I think
exactly.
And whether then after that, if you believe or not,
then yeah.
Another thing about
or
Judge
you just
Moore's
don't know. A lot of people have taken
speech,
that too, which is also fine.
He literally said this, and I quote: "During a campaign speech in 2017, Moore decried racial divisions plaguing the United States, and stating, I quote, now we have blacks and whites fighting, reds and yellows fighting, Democrats and Republicans fighting, men and women fighting. What's going to unite us? What's going to bring us back together? A president? A Congress? No, it's going to be God." Unquote. Moore's reference to reds and yellows were criticized as racially insensitive. Moore's campaign responded by stating that Moore's statement was a paraphrase of the children's Sunday song, "Jesus Loves the Little Children," and was an appeal for racial healing. No. If I remember the song "Jesus Loves the Little Children,"
Jesus loves the reds and yellows too. Don't you remember the ending chorus to that?
Jesus loves all the little children, red and yellow, black and white, something, 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 something. Jesus loves all
red, yellow, blue, and magenta. You don't remember that?
No.
Part? That was in the one.
So anybody that happens to hear our show that happens to be in Alabama, don't vote this idiot in. That's all we need is, I am one person that literally, I like my free speech. Do we want to become, we are already a what's the word I'm looking for? Rich people rule us.
Well, and
aristocracy.
We're becoming.
We don't need to be a theocracy. No. We don't need to have religious idiots controlling this country.
Well, no. And they're pissed off over, I mean, he's saying some of the shit that he was saying in there just with the whole, I don't like, Muslims, I'm pushing my religious beliefs on you. That's exactly what fucking Iran does, except they do it with the Muslim religion.
I believe they're Sheikh.
Yeah, they are.
They're Sheikh Muslim.
So it's like,
so I think Sunni
that's
Muslim,
right.
I believe so.
I know Iraq is. I know there was a fight in Iraq between Sunni and Shiite.
Right, and that basically is just like a freaking Lutheran going against a Methodist.
That's what I mean. You're hating on them for them pushing their religion onto their entire country. That's what you're fucking trying to do in the city of in the state of Alabama. So it's like, come on. That doesn't. Where do they not get the contradiction there?
I don't think they get it.
Well, I don't understand how
Yeah,
they don't.
Shia Muslim is.
I don't get how they don't get it.
Is the religion of Iran.
He's
mostly.
bashing Muslims for doing the exact thing in Iran with with what he's fucking doing in the state of Alabama, pushing only one religion on everybody. You have to believe, or you're fucked.
Now, Doug Jones is a United States attorney,
an actor.
Yeah,
He's going to be in the reboot of Hellboy.
not this particular.
Oh, okay.
No, this is
wrong guy.
Gordon Douglas Jones is his full name. So let's get off of Raymore.
I figured that much, but
coming up, we'll take a
Tom Price.
We'll take a break. Actually, we've gone pretty far. We're in almost the 10-minute mark. Or excuse me, the 50-minute mark. So let's take a quick break and we'll do the box office, and then we'll come back and do some more stuff because I want to hit the wonderful Tom Price is Right. More about Trump in North Korea, and then of course his freaking tax plan that's coming, which is a disaster.
Amazing.
Box office up next, gang. We'll take 2 seconds. We'll be right back.
Excellent. He ate like 18 jars of peanut butter.
I pressed the button way too soon. That's right. Yes, 18 jars of peanut butter. We're reminiscing on old times. Well, it's box office time here on Bull Session. As you know, we like to do this close to the end of we're right about in the middle of the show. So I think it would be really good to do this now. Yes. We'll go actually the top 15 this time.
Okay.
Start with number 15, The Hitman's Bodyguard, $715,000
for the weekend.
For the weekend.
It's done pretty well though, isn't it?
$74.6 million. They did really well. Friend Request,
nice.
Number 14,
God, I really want to fucking see that movie. It looks so good.
Stronger. I don't know that one.
This is.
It was on the countdown last week when we did this.
My folks saw it. They said it was really, really good. It's about a guy who loses his legs in the Boston bombing, and it's played by
Jake Gyllenhaal. Yeah, okay. Now I remember. Yeah,
and he goes through hell to try to conquer his disability. So it's supposed to be really good.
$986,000 there. Number 12, Victoria and Abdul. This one actually seems interesting to
That's
me. Being a period
with,
piece, it's with Judi Dench being Queen Victoria.
Okay.
And then her servant Abdul, who's from India.
Okay.
$1 million.
They're saying really critics are praising
this one too. And actually, that was the one that jumped up the most on the countdown this week.
Was that out last
26.
week?
Yeah, it was 26 last week. But I think they're really just kind of slowly opening it.
Because
it says that
limited release.
There were
first.
The first week was it looks like four places because it has a change of 73 theaters.
Oh, okay.
In the positive. So
okay.
This, of course, we get our information from Box Office Mojo is where we're getting it. Number 11, A Question of Faith.
I have not heard of that.
$1 million its first week.
Okay.
Dropping down to now the top 10. Dropping from number 5, Mother.
Yeah.
$1.5 million roughly.
I have heard
$16.3 million. It is below budget. It's about halfway to its budget.
I wonder.
It's been out for 3 weeks.
I'm really curious. I really thought when we saw it, we saw a big long preview for this. And I thought for sure this would resonate with people. I thought people would want to go see it because it looks creepy. It looks original. But I guess there's some controversy with some scenes in there. About
is there a gay person in it?
No, there's some scenes with like
there's
some scenes with like a baby. I don't know, and it's on a boy. I don't know. I don't have any idea. But there's some controversy about it. It's just not catching with people, I guess.
Okay.
Till
Death Do Us Part.
Number 9.
Number 9.
What the hell is that?
$1.5 million. I don't know. We'll find out. It's Taye Diggs is in it. Really, that doesn't help me. Does not help us.
It looks amazing.
Yeah,
though,
it's.
So I'm sure it's good.
Yeah, Taye Diggs, Marquise Houston. That's all we know about it.
Okay. Haven't heard of it.
Home Again. Number
That's
8 on the
one
countdown.
with Reese Witherspoon, isn't it?
$1.75 million. Beating its budget, it's $25 million in a budget of 12. Number 7, American Assassin.
I saw this actually
from
this
Lionsgate
week with Michael Keaton and Dylan O'Brien and
How was it? Was it
I'm
good?
trying to think of other people that were in it.
Down
Sonya
from number
Lathan.
4.
I hope it does fairly well. It's a pretty brutal version of like The Bourne Identity.
Yeah.
Like it was done, in my opinion, it was done well, but it's like a hard R rating. This isn't like a PG-13 spy James Bond movie. It's based off a series of novels with this character Mitch Rapp, and Michael Keaton's character is an ongoing character in the novels too, named Stan Hurley, that he plays. And it was good. It was done well. It wasn't like amazing, but it was a decent, well-made action thriller with some cool, action pieces and some good fights and some cool shootings and stuff like that. It's not bad acted either. Michael Keaton's really good in it. Taylor Kish
He's
also
really
is
having
in
a
it.
career renaissance
Yeah,
right
he
now.
really is.
He just kind of
He
disappeared
was
after
in
Batman.
Yeah, and he was in small stuff, but he kind of, B stuff. He kind of kept working just slowly and TV here and there, and now he's gotten. Yeah, he was Vulture in the last Spider-Man movie. He's in this movie. He was in The Founder earlier this year, so he is. And he was in 2 films that were both Best Picture Academy Awards. Birdman and Spotlight was 2 films that he did that were both won Best Picture Oscars. So, but anyway, that's number 7.
Number 7. Number 6, Battle of the Sexes from Fox Searchlight.
That kind of looks
$3.4 million. It's literally the story of Billie Jean King against
King.
Bobby. Oh crap, I can't remember his last name now. But it was the big thing from 1973. I think it was.
It looks funny.
It was
it
tennis,
looks entertaining.
It was a tennis match that Billie Jean King won. We know the outcome.
Yep.
But it has Steve Carell.
Steve Carell plays
and Emma
Stone.
Stone. Thank you.
That's its first week.
That's
isn't
its
Or second.
second week. It was limited opening because it's literally exploded on the screens. Another 1,100 screens this week. So
okay.
That's a big
so
one.
it's gotten more now.
Number 5 is Flatliners by Sony, $6.7 million. Its first week, and it only cost $19 million to make. It says here.
Wow.
That's probably they'll probably rehash their budget. They probably will make it. I would assume
They'll probably make money off of it.
But I think people are, the original Flatliners, which
that was like 89.
yeah,
or
it
90?
was something like that. But it was just so slick.
It was done
so
well. It was a cool
done
flick.
well.
I liked it. Joel Schumacher did it.
Yeah, Joel Schumacher, which we
And
can
he did
forgive
Lost
him.
Boys,
Yeah.
and
He did
we
Lost
can
Boys
forgive
and
him
for Batman and Robin. It's like you had all these good movies, and then you screw up Batman.
And then but after that, he did like 8mm.
Yeah.
And he did good stuff again.
Kiefer Sutherland is in it.
And he was in the original.
The girl that played Juno. I can't remember.
Yep, Ellen Page. Yeah,
Thank you.
she's in it. So is Nina
I think she's cute.
Dobrev.
So it looks really good. Number 4 down a spot. The Lego Ninjago movie.
I'm really surprised
$12
this
million.
isn't cleaning fucking house. The Lego movies always do big.
I think the Lego Batman movie did really, really well.
It did. It was huge.
This one's made $35.5 million. Ninjago, it's basically kind of a ninja property is what it is of theirs.
Okay.
I think that you can see some of the movies on Nickelodeon. Like I think they have a TV show on Nickelodeon or something. But I know I agree with you. Usually you think that they would be.
Usually they just do really, really well. I'm just surprised.
Number 3 this week, the number 1 movie last week, Kingsman: The Golden Circle. It has made in 2 weeks $66 million on a $104 million budget. Have you seen this yet?
No.
I want to see this because I love
So
the
first one was good.
It'll be interesting because Colin Firth comes back.
Yeah.
Taron Egerton
He's
is
awesome
back.
in the first one.
Everybody
that was alive in the last one was back.
Yeah.
What's his face? Oh, God, he's in every fucking movie. He's bald. I know that doesn't help. But he was in...
Brendan Gleeson?
Not Brendan Gleeson. That's another person who's in every movie. He's... What the hell's his name?
Or now his son, Domhnall Gleeson?
Yeah, now he's in every fucking movie now, too. He was in the first one as the guy with the glad that taught him a lot.
I know. Yeah, I don't remember his name.
The actor's name. He's in like so many movies. It's crazy. I'm forgetting his name.
Number 2, American Made, which is starring Tom Cruise. 17.
That
Speaking of
looks
people who were in a lot of
interesting.
movies lately, it's that
He
man right
has
there.
been
He's
in a lot of
doing
movies
lot.
lately.
And
This
his
is
are hit
off
and
of
miss.
that Barry Seal. This should they're getting a good reviews.
Yeah,
It should
and
be
it has
interesting.
been, he has been literally back and forth.
Yeah.
In his movies, the Mummy. You said it. You said you liked it.
I thought it was decent. I mean, I thought
it had
people
literally
ripped on it
ripped
bad,
really bad, but
it did like huge numbers overseas. It made like over $400 million. So I mean, if Americans don't go see his stuff, the other
and then the
over
number
foreign numbers
one
usually bring
movie
it in.
this is literally the talked
It,
about
yeah.
movie is It. Moved
Look
up
how
from
close
number 2.
these three are.
Yeah.
They're all within $17 million.
It was 17.3 million. American made is $17,016,000. Kingsman is 17 million straight.
They're
so literally
like super fucking
listen to
close.
how much money it has made in 4 weeks.
Oh my god.
$291.2 million.
And look how low the budget is.
On a 35. I'll tell you one thing. Bill Skarsgård's kid is literally that's his name is Bill Skarsgård, isn't it? The kid that's in it.
Yes, it's Bill Skarsgård.
Bill Skarsgård, which is
he's Alexander's brother.
Yeah, literally, who Stellan's young. I think
it is their kid,
yeah,
isn't it his kids?
I think it is. He's got an acting dynasty of his own.
Yeah,
there.
big time.
But yeah, $291 million. That
and
kid
it's a great
is
movie. I was just really. I'm really surprised that it's getting as big as it is. I think a lot of the whole Stranger Things has kind of helped.
That probably helped,
just because it takes place and like I think it starts in '88, then it turns into '89 in the movie, and in the original Stephen King book, I believe it was in the '50s. Late 50s, these kids were around.
I know they
doing
updated
this.
it
So they updated it.
I think
but it's just like.
No, this one's like, I think it's supposed to be 27 years from next year is when it was. So it's 2018 is the next one, chapter 2.
Right.
It's supposed to, because apparently every 27 years.
Yeah, it's when it comes back. Yeah.
So next year will be 2018. And I believe they're going to do it present
They're doing
day.
one. Well, they're doing one in 2019 is when the next one's coming
2019.
out.
So
Yeah.
let's say that 27 years from 2019 would make it roughly probably around 95.
Right.
I would say anywhere between 90 and 95, somewhere in that.
But I don't know this. Yeah. So this one takes place like it ends in like 89. So they'll probably make it what 2009 would be 20 years. So yeah, they'd be like
about
2016.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
27 years onto 89. It'd be like 2016. So I don't know if that's what they're probably doing for the sequel, but it is a really good movie. I'm just surprised that it kicked off as big and got a hold, and it's well acted. Yeah. It's a fun movie. I mean, it's got some gore and stuff in it, but to me, like I thought it was more fun than it was scary. That's what I thought. It was just to me like, yeah.
And that's the box office for this week for Bull Session.
Excellent.
Brought to you by Box Office Mojo.
Box Office.
Box Office Mojo.
Mojo
Premiere
Office.
week started this week. Not a new shows this week.
Oh yeah.
Opened. NCIS started. Gotham. A lot of those. I know you don't care for NCIS. I love it.
I'm not
it's
80
my
years old, so
it's my guilty pleasure show. I got to admit.
You're the youngest viewer.
No, I don't think I'm the youngest viewer. I'm probably one of the younger viewers, but it is the number one show in the United States right now.
Yeah, a lot of senior citizens.
And then NCIS New Orleans with
NCIS New Orleans.
NCIS New Orleans.
Who is in that?
Scott Bakula actually.
Oh,
is
that's
the lead
right.
character,
Okay.
and he actually he's a really good character in that show. I have to admit.
Scott Bakula.
And then Lucas Black is one of the characters.
Oh, he's on that show too.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you don't know who Lucas Black is, he is the kid that played the
Sling Blade
when he was little. And he was in
Fast and Furious.
Tokyo Drift.
He's made some other movies. He was in Jarhead.
He was also in a football movie. Wasn't Friday Night Lights or was it?
It was Friday Night Lights.
Friday Night Lights. Yeah.
Yep.
He has a very very strong accent.
Yeah, he's from he's from Arkansas, or is he from Alabama? Okay.
So he's but he's a good guy when they come out of Alabama. Anyway.
Yeah, how funny is that?
Anyways, let's move along
Hopefully
to our next topic.
Roy Moore's guy.
Yeah, because I don't know if we're going to get to everything, but we're doing pretty good right now. How about former Health and Human Services Secretary Tom Price.
Now, wasn't it you that was saying that they should do like an Oompa Loompa song every time, or did Diane say that?
No, I don't know who said that, but there's actually every time a Trump cabinet member, they need the Oompa Loompas need to come on and sing a song.
Because how many has it been that he's
a considerable amount?
It's been way more than probably most presidents have had in their fucking 2 terms.
For those of you that don't know what happened,
it's been like 11 or 12 fucking people.
Health and Human Services Secretary Tom Price is that he quit, didn't he? Or he got fired?
No, he resigned.
He resigned.
I think he resigned.
He basically said that he was going to repay $52,000. He basically took private planes and stuff and put it on the American taxpayer.
Right.
So he believes after his math, I don't do great math all the time. His math on those seats in the planes come up to roughly $52,000. What were you doing on those planes to charge $52,000 on a plane?
I don't know. Was he shipping? Was he doing like in that movie? Was he shipping coke to the Contras?
I don't know.
Fucking
the Politico has reported the cost of the private jet's principal was more than $400,000, including trips in places where he had friends and family. Why is it that people in our government believe that they can just do whatever the shit they want and there's no consequences to it? Like when it comes to this, you already get free health care.
He said he was going to pay us back. He really did say that.
Yeah,
I'm not even joking.
Do you believe him?
Well, fuck no, but that is what he said.
They get
I just think it's funny that he fucking said that.
Once they get out of Congress, they still get paid until they die.
Right.
I would love to have a job where, you know what?
Yeah.
I worked here for
and you're still going to get awesome health insurance too.
Yeah. I worked here for a few years. You know what? I quit. Yeah. But you're going to still pay me.
Exactly.
Is that any other job in the world? Probably not.
Nope.
And you really people that retire, these are idiots that got voted out.
Do you really even need to do anything?
They don't do anything anyway. It's Congress. They don't do shit.
We know they don't fucking come together on anything, so...
Oh, really?
Wow.
If you think about it, what has Congress done for us recently? Not much.
Yeah.
They literally tied the hands of Barack Obama, but Congress has also done good, and they've stopped the freaking Cassidy Graham bill from getting through. Thank you,
John McCain.
Thank you, John McCain again.
And Susan Collins again. She voted.
Bernie Sanders, I think, helped as well. I mean, there's a lot of grassroots people that are saying, we need to get. Really, are you looking? And we're actually kind of mixing things together.
The Affordable Care Act is actually getting a lot of popularity right now.
It is, but
they need to fix it.
They need to fix it.
That's what majority of people don't want them to get it out. They don't want to not have health insurance. They want to.
I'm one of those people. I currently have.
They want to fix it, make it better.
Yeah.
Kind of like hashtag MAGA. Make it better. Make it better.
This is when they started doing that MAGA chant. They're like, make America great again. They want to go back to back to Jim Crow laws.
1952.
Where
things were great then.
Oh, yeah, things are really great if you were white.
Yes.
And not any other color, just white.
And 40. Things were not so good if you were a woman, if you were African American, if you were Hispanic, if you were Chinese,
Asian,
if you were Arabic.
Yeah.
No, it was really fucking bad for anybody.
Well, we need to get America again back to that white American. It's like, what the fuck?
And it should be called MAWA. Hashtag MAWA. Make America white
again. Yeah. This is the country we live in. It's just it makes me sick sometimes. We do this and we get our cockles wild up. I don't know. I'm trying to
cock wild up.
No, we get we sit there and talk, and then things we get upset with about. When we hear about the Cassidy Graham bill, which would basically kick 30 million people off insurance, but yet it was better than what we've got. Granted, in the state of Nebraska, there is one choice. I'm not kidding you. One choice for insurance off the exchanges next year. One choice.
What is it?
I don't know, but I have Aetna right now, and I don't have it anymore. After the end of the year, I won't. So I have to pick something different.
Okay.
There are people that are literally leaving in droves, and I'm not saying people. I mean insurance companies that are leaving in droves from places from the exchanges.
Okay.
Now, those of you that are listening, the open enrollment period for the Affordable Care Act begins November 1st and ends December 15th. So please get on the I believe it's. I can't remember what the website is.
Isn't it healthcare.gov?
Thank you, healthcare.gov, beginning November 1st. But I don't have insurance where I work. And it's not like, oh my God, this place is terrible. There's 50 million people and they're not offering me insurance. No, it's a company of like 25 people.
Right.
I serve tables for a living, okay? I'm not going to deny that, and I love it. But they don't offer insurance for anyone that's not on salary, which is fine, and it's not like they don't have to.
They offered it at Old Chicago, didn't they?
Yes, I had it at Old Chicago when I was a manager there, and even full-time employees could get it. But they are a corporation of thousands, probably 10,000 employees. This company is a total enrollment of, if they're lucky, 50 between three
they've just started up.
They've got other.
Well, I know they do, but I mean, they just started up. They're obviously not some big, huge corporation like Old Chicago.
Yeah, so.
But I didn't realize I have it through work, so I didn't realize just how bad it is here.
And you got to think also my wife owns her own business.
Right.
I work in the service industry, so there are two. She doesn't get insurance. From. Because her company is 2 people.
Right.
My company is probably no more than 50.
Right.
Total between the 3 restaurants they own is about 50. So they're not going to offer it,
Right.
And I'm not sitting there, I'm mad at that. I'm not by far. I love working for these guys. But that's just the way it is.
So then who's the choice? Then you don't know?
I don't know off the top of my head.
It's not Aetna?
No, it's not Aetna. That I know it for sure. But I'm also paying $386 a month for insurance.
Hopefully it's not Coventry.
I think Coventry would take better than the crap I have.
Really?
But I hate Coventry. I had Coventry before. If you work for Coventry, I'm sorry, you suck. Your insurance is terrible. I used to work for a place here in town that had Coventry. Okay. It started off with Blue Cross Blue Shield, and then they changed it to Coventry.
Well, I heard Blue Cross Blue Shield's good.
Blue Cross Blue Shield is amazing.
Is it?
It is. But
yeah, I have United Healthcare. They're
okay. They're all right.
They're not terrible.
They're not horrible,
but they're not great
not
either. I don't think any insurance company's probably great.
No, because they'll charge you $100 million for something.
Because they care about money than your health.
Yeah. We're going to take another break, gang, and we're going to finish up our program with... What do I want to... Oh, yeah. Our new tax plan and a little bit about North Korea.
Really going to be great.
Oh, it's going to be great. We'll be back on the Bull Session Podcast. Stay tuned. We're back, gang. 20 minutes to go in this extra long edition of Bull Session. I think this has worked out nicely. What do you think? Okay, thank you for the response.
That was it. Oh, kidding. No.
So now that
it has worked out good. We've had a lot of things to talk about.
Yeah, we have. This year, or now that basically Trump has decided to kind of lay low on the healthcare for the rest of the year.
Well, God knows I think there's going to be another repeal.
There probably will be, but he's saying,
another attempt at a repeal.
But now his tax plan has decided to come out. And granted, this is an opinion from...
I don't know about you, but I think it's going to be pretty amazing.
It's a lot of people, and before I even read this, are saying that it's echoing Kansas's tax cut plan, which, as we know, turned out great.
Yes, it did.
I'm going to read this to you. This is from NPR. Members of Congress might want to familiarize themselves with the story of Kansas's failed tax cutting experiment as they begin deliberations on President Donald Trump's tax reform plan. It can serve as a cautionary tale because some elements of the president's updated proposal marries pieces of the tax cut plan that the Republican Governor Sam Brownback pushed through the state legislature.
That is him.
In 2012.
Sorry to interrupt you, but he's a fucking horrible person.
He is. Promising it would deliver a shot of adrenaline to the Kansas economy. It didn't. Instead,
his last name's Brownback.
Revenues crashed, forcing Brownback and lawmakers to resort to spending cuts, borrowing, and accounting tricks to maintain a balanced budget. So Kansas reading headlines about the Trump cuts might be excused for having a deja vu moment. It's true, because this red state experiment that Brownback did basically slashed individual tax rates, individual income tax rates, and lowered to zero the tax on the so-called pass-through business income, which usually comes from small business and partnerships. Right. In Kansas, business owners responded by restructuring their companies as limited liability corporations to avoid paying income taxes. State revenues plummeted by not $1 million,
right?
Not $10 million, hundreds of millions of dollars. Kansas is literally
they can recoup that. They'll be good. We'll be all right.
Lowering income and business taxes will spur investment and growth. No, it won't.
How do you know that?
Some income taxes, yes, but they're trying to.
I'm agreeing with you. I'm just
literally it's not that you need to remove income.
Right.
Taxes pay for things. Wait, hang on a minute. A socialist moment here.
Oh, don't say it. You're a Marxist. I knew it. You're a commie. You're a commie. Marxist.
That hang on a minute. I'm trying to
Marxist.
They're trying.
You're trying to use your Marxist commie ways.
Hang on. Sorry for that. I had to shoo one of my cats away.
He was licking his balls.
But basically, he wants to. You don't eliminate the entire tax. Taxes are a socialist thing because they pay for things.
Well, yes.
They pay for our roads. They pay for stuff like that. So basically, when you eliminate taxes to 100% eliminate taxes, you can knock them down, you can cut them. That's fine.
Right.
But if you eliminate them, then where is the money coming
Well,
from?
exactly.
People are going to spend more money. Okay.
How do they not know this?
Yeah.
I mean,
as we go farther in the article, like Brownback, Trump and GOP congressional leaders say lowering income and business taxes will spur investment and economic growth. Their plan will reduce the nation's top income tax from 35% or to 35% from 39% and lower the corporate tax from 20% to 20% from the current 35%. Another thing, it's making it sounds like he's trying to put money in his own pocket.
Right.
He is a rich man. We know this. Probably one of the richer presidents we've ever had.
Right.
But then you have to think that you don't want to. He doesn't want to pay taxes. Nobody wants to pay taxes. Why the hell would you want to pay taxes?
Well, of course not. I mean, that's not that. Come on, it's not fun.
No,
nobody likes it. But unfortunately, it has to be done. We have to do it. Mm-hmm. So I don't get really where they think this is going to benefit people with this new fucking tax plan. I don't get it. I don't understand how this is something that they think.
But if you're echoing the state of Kansas, it's going to be an absolute disaster.
Well,
literally, when Kansas did this, they had lost millions of dollars.
Okay.
Kansas is already I sit there and make fun of Kansas. My wife is originally from Kansas.
Diane's from Kansas.
Your girlfriend's from Kansas. I sit there and I make fun of Kansas just because they still have on the books, honestly, on the books, the creation. You have to talk about creation.
Creationism, yeah.
Creationism. You don't. Why would you? You're sitting there. That's great. You can talk about creation, but you don't need. You need to talk about evolution because it's proven we have.
It did happen.
It has. We have evolved.
There wasn't a talking snake, and I mean, come on. I mean, I don't understand. I can understand you talking about both of those things, but I don't understand you having to be forced to teach one.
Well, apparently they still believe that there. I can't find the article, but apparently it would literally knock down taxes for the rich considerably. It would basically give the president and a lot of his cronies no taxes at all.
Oh.
When you're in an oligarchy, that's the word I was looking for earlier.
I don't believe
an oligarchy, which
all.
When we're basically being ruled by rich people.
No.
Fake news.
Hashtag Mawa.
It gets to the point now where
But he was supposed to drain the swamp. What's going on here?
Please, he's been pissing in that swamp ever since he got in office. He hasn't done no good in that. He drained the swamp. He literally conned everyone into making believe that he was going to be the man. Well, you know what? He wasn't. And it's sad because this is a great country of ours. And we sit there and we have done great things. But now we have the world looking at us. And the world is laughing at us.
No, they're not. Yeah. They were laughing a little bit when he started campaigning.
Now they're really laughing at us.
Well,
Come on,
I had
please.
read that
Here's a great thing. The English decided to get out of Brexit, did Brexit.
Yeah.
And literally the United States said, here, hold my beer and watch us. Because now we're in a worse place now than we've ever have been, I think, in this country. Because
Well, the hard part of this for me to say is that, and I hate to say it, but we are much more divided than we ever used to be.
I agree.
And people say, well,
we're more
we
divided
were
than we
divided.
were in 9/11.
Yeah, we are. And, if you go back, and it was right after the election, when it was done, it was over, he was, the winner. I think it was maybe a week after it happened, he was on Barbara Walters. I think it was Barbara Walters talking to him, or somebody was interviewing him on like 60 Minutes, and he goes, they asked, well, what about all the people that didn't vote for you, and the 65 million people with the popular vote and that are against you and think that you suck and fucking hate your guts. I mean, they didn't use those words.
They didn't use those words on television. But
the interview was like, basically, what about all the people that don't like you and are against your policies? I mean, how are you going to bring those people over? He goes, you don't have to worry about any of that. He goes, I'm going to unite this country. They don't have to worry about that. I'm going to unite this country.
You know what?
That's what he said verbatim. You can fucking look it up. And he has never been, no president has been more divisive. No president has.
At least every president to this point has had, by this time,
it's now kind of coming to the point that either you really, really like the guy or you fucking hate his guts. And it's just like, there's no in between anymore now. Whereas before, a lot of the people that voted for him were like, I fucking hate Trump, but God damn it, I hate Hillary too. We need new people. We need someone new in there. Right. I'm just going to vote for Trump. That's, honest to God, what most of the people I think that voted for him were thinking. And that's how he appealed to, the independent who were undecided. And those people now are going, Jesus, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And it's just like...
Well, then you turn around and what was the name of that kid that ran for mayor in Omaha that was like a big Trump guy?
Oh, I have no idea.
His name was Taylor something. My wife would know his name. No, it was Taylor something. We went to the Omaha Home Show. The funniest thing is when you talk about divisiveness in this country, we went to the Omaha Home Show this year it was. And the Omaha mayor election came out, and you had Gene Stothard, now the incumbent at the time, the mayor, again, voted again, and Heath Mello, who was younger, Democrat.
Mello, yeah.
Honestly, people thought I think he was going to get in, and then you had this kid named Taylor. And he looked like such a tool. He had like
How old was he?
He was 26.
Okay.
I know that for a fact.
Okay.
He was worked for an architectural firm.
Okay.
And he got all his money from Daddy.
Okay.
And he sat there and said how good Donald Trump was going to do for this country and all this. Well, there were people campaigning on the street outside the Sealing Center. We went to Sealing when it was the home show. And they were handing out, some guy was handing out, in fact, I just threw it away. It was like lip balm, and it said Taylor something for mayor. And then on the other side of the street, there was an idiot wearing a MAGA hat.
Not Mawa.
Basically spouting off. I think there was a couple of people that were in front of us or around us that we were farther away. I really couldn't hear him. But he was sitting there talking about, was throwing out some racist stuff.
Like what?
I think there was some Hispanic people around us, or Indian, and I think Muslim, someone who could probably consider Muslim, I guess. And he was, basically saying, you need to go back to your own country and stuff like this,
Jesus.
while wearing a MAGA hat. That is the divisiveness that I believe that this president has brought up to us. He has not united. He's united but yet divided this country.
Well, he's united the white supremists,
the alt-right on one side,
and the neo-Nazis. They're together now.
He's united the alt-right on one side. He's united the liberals and the people that are against him on the other side, and the divide is right in the middle. And that is the one thing that is, are we there? There were people saying, is there going to be another civil war coming?
I think,
and if there is, it's going to be even worse than the first one.
I don't think that's going to happen. I honestly believe that most of the people in this country, whether they supported him or not, are not racist, are not homophobic, are not that way. And, the reasons they were for him were because they just despised the other side a little more.
Or they were tired of the political machinations
of the whole, and they wanted to throw a rock through that window.
Yeah, they wanted an outsider, and in their own thing, Mr. Trump is an outsider.
He was an outsider, and he was able to con and pull his bullshit. But it's just like I think most people, they see those Charlottesville things and it disgusts them, and they see the whole NFL thing of him doing that, and whether they're kneeling or they're against it, they don't like him being involved in it, and they don't like him tweeting all the time and saying all this shit. Even if they did vote for him, they don't fucking like this shit that he's doing, and he's pissing people off that were originally for him in a little way. And now I really think he's making some huge mistakes, and he just doesn't see it because the only channel he watches is Fox. So they praise and suck his dick the whole time. And then it's just like he doesn't. It is. It's like, so he's in this alternate reality where, my poll numbers are great. Everybody loves me, blah, 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 blah. No, fucking everybody. The majority of the country does not like you. So it's like he's just going to keep toting that, his base. And I really think he is in for a world of surprise.
I think he's in for a world of surprise because you have to think, too, is next year is a midterm election.
Yes.
And how we change how we make our voice heard is in the midterms. Generally, people tend to not turn out as much during midterms. What was it, 110?
am going to turn out.
110 million people voted this year. Or in the election, in the 2016 general election. It is now time for a midterm election. Generally, they don't get that many people voting in midterm elections.
Well, older people
We need to turn the swamp.
Young people need to go.
Young people need to get out there and vote.
Elections, yes.
They need to get out there. They need to. You can't
need
get
to
rid
vote
of the president.
In 2018, you need to vote in 2020. You need to vote in 2022. You need to vote every 2 fucking years.
You need to get out there and you need to get her done.
Please don't do
Larry
that.
the Cable
Please
Guy.
don't quote that fucking idiot.
Well, I hope you guys liked the extra 30 minutes, the 90-minute podcast here, the 90-minute Bull Session podcast. As you know, we like to talk. We like to talk a lot. More than welcome to email us, bullsession at kmsimedia.com is the email you can send us to. We would love to hear your comments, questions, concerns, complaints, or regrets about the program. We like to do this every week as much as we can. Next week, if I can figure it out, we may have a special guest on next week.
Oh, God.
And a real special guest, not the one we did like in the first ones. This is a real one. A very good friend of ours, a friend of mine, a friend of ours, I would say. Who is really starting to really blossom into a YouTube celebrity, very, very slowly. So, and a good YouTube celebrity, not like those weirdos. No, this guy actually has a purpose on YouTube, which is great. So hopefully he will join us next week. More box office stuff. I'm wondering if it will stay in the #1 spot.
I don't know what opens next Friday.
I don't know.
I honestly don't know. It probably won't. Blade Runner starts Friday.
Blade Runner,
Blade I would think that would make #1, but maybe not.
I think you never know. So it'll be interesting. I want to see that too. There's so many movies out right now I want to see. And I hope my Chiefs win tomorrow. Go Chiefs! Playing against the Washington Redskins. I'm really hoping that Nebraska holds or does something good against Wisconsin.
I hope so too. They actually looked really good.
I don't know if you're a Husker fan.
They looked good on Friday. They really did.
People were saying, it's Illinois. Well,
they got a lot of
got a
lot of work to need to do.
They've got a lot of work to do. Yes,
they did well enough.
Tanner Lee, touchdown away. Tanner Lee, if you will, pick 6 Tanner Lee did not throw an interception that counted. So we have that, but you got to think is their defense has not let anyone score a touchdown in 14 quarters.
Yeah,
no matter what kind of defense you are and who you're playing, for you to hold a team to not, they had 2 or 3 great. Goal line stops during the Illinois game.
Got down there many times. They were in the red zone and they held them. They held them
Illinois
to a field goal.
They said it was not a great. They have the lowest scorer,
lowest
red zone score, lowest offensive scoring in the Big Ten. But still, to hold a team to that That's impressive.
I figured they were going to
Yeah.
score all over him with that
Yeah.
Chase Crouch guy. He was running up and down,
was
but
he-
they just couldn't execute his,
Yeah.
the plays that he was trying
Any
to push
relation
through.
to Eric Crouch?
I don't think so.
Okay, because I was wondering that. I couldn't really hear the people that were commentating on.
I don't
on
believe
the,
he is.
on the program. So, and it'll be on ABC, I believe, this week. So get out there and support those Huskers as they play the Wisconsin Badgers Saturday night at 7:00. Anything you got? We got like a minute left here. Anything you want to say?
No, not really.
Anybody's birthday you want to talk about? Or,
I don't think so.
no.
Do you have a? Oh, isn't Dave's birthday coming up?
Yeah, a good friend.
Actually, I think it's the
Tomorrow. Whose birthday's tomorrow?
8th. I have no idea.
October 2nd. No, wait, no.
His birthday's October 8th.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
it's
think
the
it's
8th.
the 8th,
And
isn't
then
it? It'll be like
Nealon's is this month,
55.
too.
No, Nealon's is the end of November. It's like the 28th of November, and he'll be like 60.
Yeah, our friends are all getting old now. So apparently I need to start like my dad.
Whose is tomorrow?
I swear somebody's was October 2nd, one of those guys. I thought it wasn't. Apparently
No, I don't think his is till the 8th. And Nealon's is in the end of November.
Yeah, and yours is in August. I remember that
Yes.
much. Yes. When is Diane's?
New Year's Day.
Are you kidding me?
Yes, January 1st.
Really? She's
Yep.
January 1st, baby.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah. Well, we still got to figure out what we're doing then. But what we're doing right now is we're signing off. Appreciate you watching or listening or whatever you're doing. Join us next week. I am Buck Russell.
I'm Marcus Cross.
We'll see you next time with the Bull Session Podcast. Good night.
Peace out.